our program is Breaking Barriers and Building Bridges. In order to do that, we need to start with our discussion. So our first question is for our parents. So Mr. Kwashi, as parents, what are your biggest concerns about the type of friendships your children make?
Thank you. When we look at Proverbs 18:24, it says, "One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." We have a major concern about the kind of friendship that you guys get yourself into. Some of the friends can help you achieve your dreams, others can bring you down. And as a parent, we have to be wary about that. Because what makes you think this person or that is a friend? You have to understand the values that the person stands for, what he is, and what he can do or she can do to either help you achieve your dreams. You can't just see somebody outwardly and say, "This is my friend." You don't know what the person is within. Some of the friends are very deceptive, even in the Christian family. Some are hypocrites. They just need something from you. That's why they call you their friends. So you have to be very careful the kind of people you associate yourself with, and for your parents to be proud of you. Thank you.
Our next question. This is a free flow. What are your biggest fears about raising your children in America? What are your biggest fears about raising your children in America?
Well, as we all know, a lot of things are happening nowadays. And race is important. That's something that I'm concerned about. Our skin color. Because in the real world out there, we as adults, we are dealing with racism, we are dealing with accent because we are not from here. So that's another thing. So I'm very concerned about racism in America. More so, the exposure to the world out there in terms of schooling, the things the children face in school. Most of the children out there, because of the way they are brought up, they find that, being black here is like a stigma. So I'm very concerned about that.
Wow. Okay, for our youth, Dorothy, how can we earn our parents' trust in the type of friendships that we choose? How can we earn our parents' trust in the type of friendships that we choose?
Thank you. One thing that I believe is important is communication with parents. As youth, we tend to hide a lot of things from our parents because we have this fear within our hearts that our parents are not understanding or our parents are judgmental, but that's not the case. I feel like our parents are so concerned about our safety and our well-being that they feel the need to have control over or to know certain people that you're walking with, which is why parents stress the importance of walking with people who will take you to the right place, not to walk with people who you know are not going to do any good for you. And I believe if you as an individual, if you have a friend and you cannot introduce your friend to your parents or you cannot bring your friend to your parents' house, then that alone should prove to you that this might not be the person for you to be hanging around with. Because of the simple fact that you fear that your parents might have something negative to say about your friend. But what you also have to think about is, what is your friend doing that will make your parents think that way?
Okay, Evans. What are some fears? What are some fears the youth have that they wish their parents knew?
Thank you very much for that question. From my perspective, I feel like some fears that we have that we tend to not let our parents know is maybe certain difficulties we face in school, maybe some kind of internal conflict that we have that was brought to us by the other like social aspects of our life, basically, and this leads to us like driving further away from our parents and being more secretive. We tend to keep it to ourselves and not share it with our parents, which also decreases our communication with our parents.
To add on to what Evan said, I totally agree with the inner conflicts. I think I speak for the youth ministry when I say that a lot of us don't know how to express our feelings to our parents. Right. And that isn't, don't attack me by this, but that is in part to the fact that parents tend not to show affection towards, it's like, we're raised to be strong. We're raised to show, not to show emotion, but to keep everything inside and just build, like, just be strong. But sometimes parents don't understand that there are certain things that as teenagers or as young adults that we deal with that can really break our spirits. And sometimes when sometimes we need is a hug, you know? A hug, a shoulder to cry on, to just, express our feelings on how things are going in our lives, because the way that the generation is right now and the way that society is not the same as it was for parents back then. It's totally different. It's a different ball game now. Right. So I feel like that is one of the biggest fears as far as emotion goes, is expressing our emotions and feelings to our parents.
Thank you. Can I add to that, please?
Yes.
Add to that, when we were doing the marriage seminar the other time,
Right.
one of the questions that came up was how men should treat the women.
Right.
And if my memory serves me right, the men's ministry president said that, we were not doing that when we were dating, so there is no way for us to continue. Well, maybe he's right to some extent. Most of your parents are not from here. We are from Ghana, or from basically Africa.
Yeah.
And we did not see that sort of upbringing back home. To the most part, when your parents were talking, they had conversations, you were out of reach. We didn't get a chance for our parents to be hugging us or to be crying on their shoulders as you see. We understand. We are here now. We see things have changed. So it's up to us to make changes too. When we see the Hispanic people, to the most part, they bring their children to school, they give them a kiss, they pick them up, they give them a kiss. You see African parents, they come, just follow them. It's like, just to ask the children, how was your day? How did you go today? Where do you for lunch? Those little concerns will encourage your child to talk to you more. So we need that. How many parents have their children here today? How many parents have their children here today? Okay, what I want you to do, since they are crying for hearts, get up and give your children.
hug somebody.
Let's hug somebody.
Thank you. And adding a little to it about raising kids in America. We were raised in a different environment, a different culture, a different background back at home, where love abounds everywhere that you go. But here in America, hate out there is more than the love that we share at home. So as parents, before we can have this dialogue with our kids, we need to bring our level down to their level. Amen. Communicate with them as if they are your own brothers and your sisters. Yes. Then you will understand them and they will open up to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is for our parents again. Why do some parents push their children into certain college majors and career paths? So in other words, why do some parents, let's say their children are graduating from high school, they're going to college, they push them, oh, be a nurse, be a doctor, be a lawyer. Why do some parents do that? Why don't they let their children go with their own path?
Thank you. I think as parents, we have to be like advocates. Parents, we are not supposed to dictate, but I think we should direct the paths of our kids. You don't dictate to them what you want them to become, but guide them as to what they want to become in the future. We are privileged to be in the land of opportunities. Back at home, most of us wanted to be doctors, but costs are attached to whatever they intend to do. If your parents cannot afford it, you cannot become what you want to become. But here, the opportunities are here. So there is the need for parents to open up from the beginning. Do not wait till high school. Start it from when they are in primary school. What do you aspire to be? Once in a while, ask your kids, and they will be telling you, guide them. I don't think imposing on kids what you want them to become, I don't think is the right thing. I remember when I was schooling back home, I asked my dad one day, what do you want me to become? My dad asked me, what do you want to become? You are going to school not for me, but for yourself. It's your future. So as parents, I feel we should rather guide, counsel, and direct them onto the right paths rather than imposing what they may not be able to do. At the end of the day, they will end up miserable. Thank you.